Welcome to the podcast, and you are joined here by Lou P, along with Jocelyn.
Hi, everyone.
And the great DJ GOC down the line. Say what's up to the kind folks.
Hey, what's up, everybody?
And you are now listening to the Everyday Nerd Podcast, coming to you now in a video form. So you get to see the pretty Joss.
And we got... I was going to call them Leo. Sorry,
Maybe
guys.
We are Leo. Me and Gio are Leo.
It's bromance happening right here.
Leo.
We've got Loopy and we've got the GOCs, so I'm just calling them Leo. It's just bromance.
Yes.
And I can even tell you about, so now that, not only with audio, but you could see us, but you can actually see our video format on my YouTube channel, which is Jocelyn RP. I'll be putting it there, as well as on Facebook. You'll get to watch this clip as well on Everyday Nerd Podcast. It is just one word.
Look at that. One whole word. Just remember that, folks.
Now, make it easy for you guys.
Yes, we did. Now, so this podcast, we're going to talk about, and now we've talked in previous podcasts. Obviously, you know the subject matter we discuss. We're going to talk about the Captain Marvel trailer that just came out. This should be the second one, I believe. And so going into it now, see, this trailer begins by answering that question that the first teaser trailer had. And I believe, Joss, you even asked us the question. It's like, whoa, she's beating up an old lady, okay? But this second trailer that just recently came out kind of gave you a little more insight to why she was beating up the old, or punching the old lady. And you kind of saw a little more of their battle in the bus and everything, which was kind of interesting. So we're obviously talking about Captain Marvel here on the Everyday Podcast. And going into that trailer, you just get every time, I don't know what it is with Marvel. Every time they do a trailer, it's
exciting.
Yes, I get fired up. I'm just like, let's do this. Why? That's why it's called like a teaser trailer, because it's a big tease. I just want more. It's like, give me more. So going into this trailer, you got a little more of the insight, a little more, for some of the folks that don't know the background of Carol Danvers, right? Is that right? Carol Danvers.
Yeah,
right?
I'm going to admit, I'm totally new to this, but I could just tell already I'm in love with her character. She seems like a great role model for us females, but this is so new to me, but I'm so excited. So I'm going to lean on Gio with this and Lou to tell me who is exactly Captain Marvel.
Yeah, so going into it, obviously we see a young Nick Fury. Look, he had two eyes. We see two eyes. Gio, you want to talk to us about the young Nick Fury that we get to see here?
Yeah, when I saw that trailer, man, I was kind of excited because if you look at Nick Fury in his, you look at Nick Fury. If Nick Fury is, Jesus, I'm at a loss for words. I'm nerding out here. There's a portrayal of him in the recent movies. He's bitter and mad, and this one he seems like he's more hopeful, more positive. And I think in one of the clips we kind of see him joking around a little bit. So I think it'll be interesting to we'll probably see how he lost his eye first of all.
Yeah, I think so in this one.
We're going to see him just possibly what made him into the Nick Fury we know today. Because if you remember at the end of the last Avengers movie, he makes a comment, and I'm probably completely misquoting here, but talking about having to make a call that he should have done before to Ms. Marvel. So obviously deep connection between those two characters, and I think we're going to see a lot of what made them connect. Their relationship's going to be interesting. But yeah, I'm excited to kind of see Nick Fury, which is, I know it's a Ms. Marvel movie, but Nick Fury is such a pivotal role in all these Marvel movies that it's going to be interesting to see what exactly molds and shapes him to the character we see nowadays.
Well, the thing I know about Nick, from what we totally see, he was the guy, basically, he's the bridge of the whole MCU. I mean, at the end of Iron Man, who's the guy we see? It's Nick Fury. He is the bridge that got this whole deal going. So it's kind of cool to see him, you kind of get to see a little bit of the origins of Nick Fury for some of those who are wondering about this guy. It's like, oh, well, I'm sure folks are wondering, well, how did he lose his eye and things like that? So how did he make his way up through S.H.I.E.L.D., which is really interesting. So I like that Nick is in this movie. Obviously, he's playing a big, I think he's a big supporting character, obviously, in this movie. So going into it, that we see Nick Fury being involved with Captain Marvel. Now, again, we're looking at this movie, and, Joss had an interesting point. She's wondering, Gio, is Carol Danvers a human or is she Kree? Now, for some of you who are wondering, we just dropped the Kree word.
What is Kree? Who is Kree?
Yeah, so, all right, so obviously you got the Skrulls and you got the Kree. So there's two alien species, I guess you want to say, that have pretty much always been in war for thousands of years. And for some reason, they're infatuated with Earth, which obviously conflicts with the Avengers and Nick Fury and Miss Marvel. But I think she is human because she was, in the original story, she was part of the Air Force. She was in the United States Air Force. Okay, and she was caught in between this, happened to be caught between the fight between the Kree and the Skrull. And I think that's how they got her, which kind of brings to the next, well, I don't know, jumping ahead here, but about something I saw Jude Law. He's in it too.
Yeah.
So that's kind of cool. I wonder if, because I know he was the original, he was known as Marvell. So I'm wondering if is he going to be in the form of flashbacks before he passes on the mantle, or is it more of like Ms. Marvel learning the powers and just kind of getting into her role, and then getting into the role of what we know as Miss or Captain Marvel, excuse me. So I don't know. I'm just like, damn you, Marvel, and your teasers. Show me more, but don't show me more because I want to see the movies.
Yeah, I want the whole.
So it's just so it's basically these two races that have been in thousands of years in conflict of war, and Earth, as always, seems to be caught in the middle of everything. So, yeah, that's going to be very interesting to see how they go with that. Because, like I said, go ahead.
No, I was going to say just, with that information and just knowing the only information that I'm going to go by is what I see on the trailer. And to just see, in this trailer, Carol, right? Her first name is Carol?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
I know you're going to say Kara.
Yeah, wrong show.
And but we will get into that later.
Carol. Yes.
Yeah, Carol.
But Carol, I mean, it just shows that she's trying to remember her life as far as what these memories and flashbacks that are coming back to her. So you see in this trailer, she has images of herself as a kid falling down, or when she was in training, and it's like she has amnesia of some sort. So that's all. That's kind of what I get a sense of, that she's trying to put pieces together, as far as what are these memories that keep coming upon me, and what does this all mean? So that part is kind of exciting that I see. And then when they bring it together, she starts to see herself. What is that? Is she's kind of laying there, and there's these beams in her forehead, or you know what I'm talking about? That one scene?
Yeah. Like she's getting brainwashed a little bit.
I don't know. But it's it's exciting. It's exciting. That's kind of what I'm kind of taking from Carol, as far as what this movie, as far as her backstory and origin story.
Yeah, you're listening to the Everyday Nerd Podcast, excuse me, and you're with Lou P, Jocelyn, and DJ GOC, and we're talking about Captain Marvel, the latest trailer that came out, and about the trailer. We're going to strictly go on the trailer. We can't, let's not start going with the knowledge in comics and things like that. But one guy that did make an appearance if we saw the very first trailer, was Ronan, the Executioner. He's in there.
Yeah.
Wait,
yeah.
Captain Marvel?
Yes, let's all remember who Ronan was. Do we remember where Ronan was, Jocelyn?
I know, but now I'm like, wait, what?
He was, yes.
What just happened?
Yes, Ronan the Executioner was in the very first trailer. He's Kree. Now, remember, if we think back to little quick trivia for Joss. I know everybody's yelling it right now. We're strictly doing cinematic universe stuff. Where did we first see Ronan? You got 3, 2, 1. Okay. The first Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh, okay. Got it.
So, you do recall him saying he's talking about the Kree and the pride.
Yes.
So, obviously, when you see the trailer, the very first trailer of Captain Marvel, it's taking you to the 80s. Come on, she crashes in a blockbuster video.
That is
that was
true.
awesome, by the way.
Yes.
But so you obviously know there's a time period where the Kree were battling, like Gio mentioned, the Kree were battling. They were in a great battle, and are they battling with the Skrulls? Am I correct on that, Gio? Or who are they battling? Kree and okay, so they're battling these people. So Ronan is gonna make an appearance in this movie. So we get to see Ronan now as just a quote unquote Kree soldier or part of this crew now with Captain Marvel. So I find this interesting. Like I said, we're strictly going on cinematic stuff, and we're taking guesses. We don't know. But we just remember Ronan was a pretty bad dude in Guardians of the Galaxy, the first movie. Mm-hmm. So now he's teaming up with Captain Marvel. You kind of are thinking, well, what's going on here? Is she a good guy, or is she a bad guy? Or is she associating with criminals? Or is it that whole, depending on the situation, we're going to team up for now, but then when we're done facing this problem, then we're going our separate ways type of thing?
Well, now it's making me wonder, did Guardians of the Galaxy happen before or after Captain Marvel?
It happened after.
Oh, okay.
It happened after. See, so Ronan was... so obviously Ronan ran into Thanos after this event.
Oh, okay.
See, so we're making bold predictions on this movie. And obviously, we're gonna shoot with one of these already. One of my hot takes on this. We're obviously gonna see Thanos in this movie. I have a feeling we will see him. Whether or not we physically see him, he's definitely going to be mentioned. And whether or not there's an actual conflict with him or a battle with him, we don't know. But see, Marvel's not telling us. The cinematic version is not telling us. They're not giving us so much. That part we'll talk about in our next podcast. Will lead us to our next podcast. But as far as this movie goes, I have a feeling there's going to be mention of Thanos, if not an appearance by Thanos, because Ronan, we do see, is associated with Thanos in Guardians of the Galaxy.
Huh.
Yeah.
Your thoughts, Gio? I just stumped her.
I'm trying to piece it all together now. I don't know. Gio.
I think it's going to be as much of a story for Captain Marvel as it is for Ronan, because he was hired by Thanos to hunt down some of the stones, and he was a rogue. He separated and went rogue. So I think this is kind of obviously it's a prequel, and you'll kind of see as well what led Ronan to branch off and be independent or rogue or whatever. And I think towards probably the end, that's when he's going to be introduced to Thanos, and he's going to be like, hey, you're my guy, I'm going to hire you. So that's kind of how they'll kind of intertwine everything, especially with the Avengers, the last Avengers movie. So I think it's going to be as much of a story about Captain Marvel as it is for Ronan.
If you think back to Guardians of the Galaxy, when the very first scene you see the Nova Corps, and they're talking to the screen to somebody who was with the Kree, right? If I'm correct on that, and they were talking about Ronan, how you need to handle this situation, and the Kree were saying, no, look, he's not with us anymore, So that's interesting, and I really think this movie kind of will lead into why we see Ronan turn the way he did, and I think Gio's onto something. What he's talking about, how we'll see him hook up with Thanos later on. So I honestly think we will, if not, hear his name. We're definitely going to hear his name. Whether or not he actually makes his appearance, we don't know.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. So I think, I don't know. I feel like Captain Marvel is going to be, I really hope that it doesn't get too busy where you kind of lose track of everything. But because it's obviously that Captain Marvel is going to play a big role in the next Avengers movie. So I think they're going to try to tie everything into with her this particular movie to kind of make the MCU timeline make sense overall. I think she is going to be like a key component for everything.
I think so too. And then what I was thinking about with Miss Marvel, what I see in the trailer, I mean, her powers looks extraordinary. And I'm just wondering, I mean, I get excited. I got so super excited when she just glows, and all of a sudden she's got this immense power that just comes out of her, and her suit is awesome. I just love her suit. But I also liked how in that one particular scene in that trailer, it's like, I don't get it. It's like she was wearing a green. Was she wearing a green suit
To start?
And then she goes into that red, white, and blue one. But her hair is like up like a mohawk, and then it comes down, and I don't know. I'm just so excited. I want to see her battle. I want to see all this power come out of her.
Definitely.
Oh yeah. I feel like the green suit might be when she's with the Crow.
Yeah.
Before she becomes Captain Marvel, and then she hooks up with Nick Fury, and then she gets the suit.
And then,
you know what? Which is, I'm sorry. It's going to be funny because I think, what if Colton designed it just like he designed the Captain America suit? That'd be funny.
Yeah, exactly. That because we were hearing how he was helping with the design of the suit, right? When he came back for Avengers. Remember that when he was talking about I was part of the design. Remember that when he was so geeking over being in the same plane with Captain America.
Yes, I remember that. He had his own card.
Yes,
I remember that. I definitely remember that. One thing I'm looking forward to is the fact that through all this battle, and then what I want to see is between the arrangements she had with Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. or Nick Fury, how is it then she became in hiding? How is it that, through all these other stuff that's been happening that with the Avengers, with that first invasion that happened, how come she wasn't involved? What level category, is she needed? And so what arrangement was that? I mean, was it based on her preference to just, maybe she wanted to hide from all this? But maybe because, when you look, she's got like a 1980s pager. So,
how he got a hold of her.
The way she, he got a hold of her. So that's my question is like, why was she in hiding this whole time? And was it her choice?
That's a good one. Really. What when Nick was assembling the Avengers, why didn't he bust out with Captain Marvel? Why did he have to wait for the God of Thunder to show up? Because according to, again, we're just following Marvel cinematic universe here. It was because of the discovery of Thor's hammer that he started being concerned that there were outside forces that he needed to build up a team. And you figure back then that would have been a perfect time to bring her.
But why?
So I guess we'll get our questions answered here.
Yeah.
Well, if not this movie,
maybe she's the big guns.
Yeah, obviously she is because obviously like what we talked about at the end of Infinity War, who is Nick paging? Right. And we saw the logo. It just happens to be that nice logo that she's sporting on that suit that you love so much now. See, so I'm just thinking you pose a great question, and that's something maybe the cinematic guys they have to cover it. They have to, because somebody's going to ask, why didn't you break her out when this army came into New York?
Exactly.
This invading army, which again is associated with Thanos. It's associated with these guys. Why didn't they break her out then? That is an excellent question,
and
Jocelyn.
It kind of reminds me, remember how with the last Avengers, within Infinity War, when Scarlet Witch was up in the tower, and then what's her name, the one who's the general for Black Panther and Black Widow, she comes out and she's like, why is she, and then that general says, why has she been up there this whole time? Why has she been up there? We needed her.
We needed her. See,
so I kind of see like, where's she been this whole time?
That's an excellent point. That's an excellent point. And the folks that are listening to us right now and watching us, maybe you guys have theories. That'd be great. Just obviously write it in the comments what you think, why Captain Marvel hasn't been around for these big devastating events that have happened in the earth. So with that being said, on a side note, Jill, you talk, and Jocelyn mentioned it with the suit and her hair short and it turns blonde and spiky. Doesn't that kind of remind you of, I don't know, when a guy goes Super Saiyan? It's a Dragon Ball Z reference. I'm sorry. I just had to throw it out there. I know folks over there are like, be quiet. All right. I just had to throw it out there, folks. And me and Gio got a kick out of that. But With that being said, he's DJ GOC. I'm Lupi and Joss for the final plugs.
JOC.
Give us the plugs again.
Okay, so you know what? You can find all of us. You can find all of us on Facebook. We are Everyday Nerd Podcast, one word. And we'll be putting our video clip and our audio into that link. And, you know, we have some trivia there. And then also you can find this video on my YouTube channel, which is Jocelyn RP. And I have a segment there as well. So please come and follow us.